conversations occasionally. A lot of crazy stuff has happened, but it's funny as we sit here, I'll speak for myself. I don't remember any of the bad times, just the good ones. So, Spirit, believe it or not, started flying in 1983. I think it was called Charter Air at the time. And in 1992, it changed its name to Spirit. So we've been in the air since 1983. What is that? 43 years. And unfortunately, that's over. So thank you for your support over the years. And onward and upward, right?
This morning, Spirit Airlines is shutting down on a move that will affect thousands of scheduled flights and nearly as many employees. Spirit, which has struggled to maintain consistent profitability since the COVID-19 pandemic, had been looking to emerge from its second bankruptcy in less than a year. Those plans were derailed amid soaring jet fuel costs sparked by the outbreak of the war in Iran. So here's what you need to know. The struggling low-cost airline has stopped all flights. The airline says passengers who were expecting to travel should not go to the airport. Spirit will automatically process refunds for any flights purchased through using a credit or debit card, but passengers who did not book directly will need to request a refund through their travel agent.
They are trying to ensure that traveling is only reserved for the well-off, the wealthy, the high middle class groups. They don't want anybody else traveling anymore. This is why you have seen places like Las Vegas increase their prices. This is why you've seen places like Disney World increase their prices. They are no longer catering to the middle class, right? When they check their charts, when they're looking at their numbers, when they're looking at their revenue, they're seeing who's actually buying and who's actually not. When they're looking at their charts, they're seeing who's actually spending real money and who's just, in and out on a low budget. They don't want you to have anything. We already know this already. They want you to have nothing and be happy or unhappy. It does not matter at this point. If you guys didn't know, I posted a post of Spirit Airlines after 34 years. Basically, they closing the book, right? They're no more. They're closing down business. They're closing down shop, right? Those of you who used to get those $20 Colombian trips, no more, right? Y'all used to get those $50 round trip Colombian, no more. You can't fly across the world for $50 anymore, right? And somebody said, you can just look into other airlines. There's been no other airlines, including JetBlue, Blue Jet, whatever the name is, or Frontier. They didn't have the same prices as Spirit did. And as of right now, even them, they're going up in prices. And I believe JetBlue is also facing bankruptcy as well. So we may see other budget airlines follow the Spirit pathway, because with the increase in oil per barrel, right, jet fuel has become higher and higher, right? So now these budget airlines, they can't reach or can't, check off their bottom line. They can't make revenue with prices this high, with oil prices this high. And this is just going to be a trickle-down effect, like it always is, right? The same cost, the cost of Spirit closing down is going to transfer down to the consumers. So those families, those individuals that used to be able to travel on a budget, now you got to pay a premium or don't travel. But I believe that's the ultimate goal, right? For people not to be able to travel. They're pricing you out of everything, gentlemen. How many times do I have to say this? How many times do I have to say it's all or nothing now? Right? It is happening before your very eyes, right? Some of you still going to look, I got to look for another alternative. The alternative is getting money, broke boy. That's the alternative. The alternative is getting your skill sets up. That's the alternative. Y'all are looking for alternative to continue to do the same cheap shit you was already doing. That alternative is becoming null and void. cheap eating. You can't even eat cheaply at Mickey D's. You can't even poison yourself anymore cheaply. So there is no more alternatives. The alternative is getting your paper up. The alternative is learning this AI. The alternative is learning knowledge, right? Gaining more wisdom. That is the alternative, right? The future looks absolutely bleak for the younger generation. It looks absolutely horrific for the new generation. The young men, in particular Gen Z and younger, right? I mean, millennials too, you can throw them in there too, right? They're getting priced out before they're even able to get a footing in life. This is getting crazy, right? This is getting crazy. This is why I told y'all, I've been telling y'all for the past 2 years, come on and learn this AI. Come on and learn this. Come on and learn this automation, right? Start building websites. Practice making applications, right? Gain some remote skills. Gain some real skills. I've been telling y'all. But before Gen Z before their nuts can even drop, they're already priced out of relationships. The young women have already been programmed into oblivion. That's over with, right? Gen Z, damn near, they have to worship their generation of women to get them to get into a relationship with them. So basically, role reverse, right? Gen Z have to act like women to get the women because the women acting like men are priced out. So traveling now, right? Gen Z have no jobs, right? It's not like they could really afford to travel anyway, right? Traveling was always a older man thing, but Spirit, right, and the like made it possible for young people to be able to experience the world on a budget. So I'm not even knocking Spirit. I'm not knocking any of these airlines. I've flown Spirit. I've flown JetBlue. I don't think I've ever flown Frontier, but I've flown these budget airlines before, and they do come in handy. They have a purpose. If you just need a reset, if you just need to get away real quick and you don't feel like spending $300, $400, $500, $600 on a Delta or American Airlines, you don't feel like spending that kind of money, and you would rather keep that money and spend it on the ground wherever you land. I get it. I understand. But they said, to hell with all of that. To hell with all of that. This has been a long time coming, right? Listen, man. Airfares are up. So for those of you who think you're about to find some kind of magical alternative, airfares are up, right? Because they're going to pass the price to consumer, right? Baggages are up, right? So now they're charging more of a premium for you to have a bag on the airline, right? Some of them are even charging for certain carry-ons. So at the end of the day, you're still going to be paying the premium. You're still going to be paying the same prices as an American Airlines, as a Delta on a Frontier or a JetBlue, Blue Jet, whatever the name is. You're still going to be doing it. And this is a telltale sign of what is to come, right? This is a telltale sign of what is to come for the normie, everyday Joe Smo. For those of you who are still sitting around twiddling your fingers, right? I hope you are paying attention. Some of you are going to be like, oh, I don't travel anyway. I don't go nowhere. I'm going to live and die in Texas. Okay, whatever, right? But this is still a telltale sign of where the economy is going. This is a telltale sign of who now the economy is going to be catered towards, right? They're only going to cater towards the rich. They're only going to cater towards the elite. They're only going to cater towards the high middle class. Many businesses, right, that are being founded now are only catered towards other businesses with money or individuals with money. You don't see Chanel going into bankruptcy. You don't see Louis Vuitton going into bankruptcy, right? Why is that? You don't see Delta going into bankruptcy. Why is that? Well, because their clientele right? It's on the upper end of the chart. And that is who they're pricing everything for. They are pricing everything for the ones who do have money. So, oh, well, what about us, Tap? What about the ones with no money? What about the so-called middle class? You're done. You're done. That is it. There is no middle class. That is why they're developing the new system towards people who already have money. Because they're looking at their numbers, they're looking at the economic stats, and they're seeing that there is no more middle class. Right? Disney World, no more middle class. The average family can't afford to go to Disney World? What? Are you kidding me? A family of 3, 4, right? Just to get there. Just to get there, depending on where you're coming from in the country, right? You're already out of pocket $2,000, $2,500 to $3,000, right? And depending on who you fly with, right? And probably doesn't even matter at this point. You're out of pocket $2,000 or $3,000 easily. That's just on flight alone, right? Or maybe you get a package. My bad. Maybe you get a package. Maybe I would say maybe $1,700 to $2,000 on the flight. Maybe you get a package deal with the hotel or whatever, another $1,000. So yeah, about you coming around about $3,200 on flight and hotel. $3,200 to $4,000 just on flight and hotel. That doesn't include Disney World tickets, right? That doesn't include the exclusive passes, right? Y'all like standing in lines, right? I don't want to stand in line with my kid. I gotta pay for the exclusive pass. I gotta pay for the flash pass, right? I gotta zoom past the other kids. I gotta let my kids know daddy got it, right? We ain't standing in line with those other normies, but you know, I get it. I understand. Most people are gonna buy the regular pass, and they're gonna be standing in line in that hot ass sun, right? Your daughter gonna be complaining, "Daddy, it's hot. It's hot. When are we gonna get on a ride?" You standing in line for 2 hours. Right? You watching them other families, zoom. They got the flash pass, zoom. They letting them go. They getting on the ride. Go ahead. Yep. Flash pass, flash pass, flash pass. Listen, y'all better pay attention. Everything that is going on now, from the food company, transportation, technology, they're increasing prices, and they're no longer catering towards the middle class. Mark my words. This is just the beginning. Chipotle already did it. Y'all just heard Chipotle. Chipotle came out with a new menu item, and they said they were going to increase their prices because they believe their customer base can afford their new increase in prices. Chipotle used to be a budget, a good medium, healthy, right? You can build a healthy bowl with Chipotle. You can eat on a budget at Chipotle. Nowadays, Chipotle gonna run you $18 to $20 easily for a bowl, for a burrito. Right? Like I said, Mickey D's. Bro, you're going to spend $20 at Mickey D's. Right? You're talking about a family of 3, 4. You're going to be spending just as much at McDonald's as you would probably sitting down at your local restaurant somewhere. If family of 3, 4, you're going to be spending about $60 for full meals. $60 at Mickey D's and many of your other fast food restaurants. This is where we are. They're forcing you to make a choice. They're forcing you to make a choice. Either you start making more money, you find a way how to get more money, you get onto this entrepreneurship game, right? You learn this AI, you learn this automation, so you're not left in the dust with the majority of people, right? You better learn this stuff. You either make that choice of increasing your money, increasing your knowledge, increasing your wisdom, so you can make more money, right? Or you make the choice just to deal with it, right? Struggle every single day. That's the two choices that you have. There is no other choices. There is no alternatives. Like I told y'all before, not only are prices going up, but social safety nets are also disappearing. Right? Social safety nets are also disappearing alongside with all of these price increases. So you're not going to have a parachute either. There is no food stamps coming to save you. WIC, There is no housing vouchers coming to save you. Nobody. So listen, if you want to learn how to make it in the new world, if you want to learn how to make real money in the new system, listen, I just released my group call. I pre-recorded it, right? So you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. I just built my first app, still have a few tweaks to make, but this is something that I plan on rolling out to the general market, and I do plan on charging for it. I want you guys to see exactly what I'm doing, so you know that I'm just not here talking. I'm actually building out here in these streets. I'm actually doing something. I'm actually going with the grain instead of against the grain. So listen, if you want to learn AI, if you want to learn automation, if you want to get your mindset right to be able to succeed in the new world, listen, hit that link in the description. It is on the Patreon only. And if you want to join the inner circle as well, you want to gain more in-depth knowledge, you want to participate in the group calls that we have every single Friday at Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you want to take part in that, join the inner circle, come over to the Patreon, learn something, get ahead of the curve, because you don't want to be left behind. Listen, things are speeding up, right? Technology is speeding up, right? Prices are going up. You don't want to be left with the herd. I'm telling you right now, the prices are up. Come over to the Patreon, learn something before you get left behind. Listen, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but your boy is still gonna travel. Listen, I already got my Delta tickets, right? I already got my Delta tickets ready to go. Listen, there's no more flying budget. There's no more traveling budget, right? They're not catering towards the budget-friendly families. They're not catered towards that anymore. No. You got to get your money up, not your funny up. Listen, the after pill is the ideology. The escape blueprint is the framework. And PFP life is how you should live. Purpose, freedom, and power. Come over to the Patreon. Hit that link in the description. I'll see you guys over there. Peace.
I built a life. I built a family. I worked my hands raw to get here. And I'm not done. This is the escape blueprint. PFP life. A way out of the grind and into control. You'll learn how I stack cash, build systems, and reclaim time so you can live on your own terms. You will watch me maneuver and grind towards the life that I achieve for myself, and you can also do the same. Join the circle, join the Patreon, learn the steps, and protect your freedom. The Escape Blueprint, PFP Life.